Silly Brock. You can't use your frying pan to cover yourself from the rain. What are you, stupid?
Hey Dex, guess what? Oh, you won't believe me! These are the greatest news in gaming ever!
They're finally making a Banjo 3?
No?
They stopped making Call of Duty games?
No?
I can play Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U right now?
No?
Half-Life 3 confirmed?
Yeah!
Really?
Nah.
What is it?
They're making a new Pokémon game!
That's not really groundbreaking news, but I guess that's cool.
Yeah, but here's the amazing part! It's an MMO!
Oh man, really? Gosh, I've always wanted a Pokemon MMO! God, that is amazing! What console is it for? Is it for the Wii U? 3DS?
No.
It's for the PC, but that would be weird considering it's Nintendo and all. But I wouldn't complain, but then what is it for?
You see the goof? It's for the one and only, the Nintendo 64!
What?
That's awesome, right? I went and bought it just as soon as I heard about it. You really need to be quick when buying these kind of games, especially Pokemon. So I brought it with me so we could play together. Oh my god, we're gonna have so much fun!
Okay, you're an idiot. First off, this game came out 14 years ago. And secondly, this is not an MMO. I don't know why you would think that. The N64 doesn't even support online.
Well, that's not entirely true. The 64 disk drive had RAM that could...
That doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that this is not the MMO that you were hoping to play.
Oh. At least it's fun, right? At least it's fun, right?
Pokémon! How could the simple idea of animals fighting each other become such a hit? Well, they were really goddamn smart about it. Adventuring and exploring, catching Pokémon of different types like grass, fire, water, etc. and have them battle other Pokémon was just... what could go wrong? Pokémon Red and Blue were huge successes and became two of the best-selling games on the Game Boy. While these games weren't really graphical beasts, we still enjoyed them. But we wanted something more. We wanted to experience an adventure like this on our beautiful and lovely Nintendo 64. A fully fleshed 3D Pokémon adventure. The first thing we got was Pokémon Snap, but the only thing you could do in that game was to take photographs of Pokémon.
But not much later we got Pokémon Stadium. This was going to be the 3D Pokémon game that we all wanted to play. And it's nothing more than a goddamn simulator. When I was a kid, I thought this game was fun. And that's pretty much all I can remember. Now, it's been a long time since I last played this, so if you're in the same situation as me, then let's see if it still holds up.
Pac-Man Stadium! Let's do this! I can't move the cursor, or the Magnamites.
What the hell, did I break this controller too? Oh wait, I remember you used a D-pad for this game. How stupid am I?
Anyway, let's get back on track. There are so many things that we can do. And by that I mean the exact same thing for all of them. It really doesn't matter what you choose to do. You'll be battling for a long time. The stadium is the main part of the whole game. It has 4 different cups that you can play. The Pika Cup, the Petit Cup, Poke Cup, and Prime Cup.
You notice how all of those cups' names start with a P? You know what I would name a 5th cup? That's right, Peanut Cup.
Each of them have their own set of rules. Some of them have level restrictions as well as restrictions on the heights and weights. And you also get to choose from a list of rental Pokémon that you can use in your team. So, good luck with that, because you will be fighting 8 trainers in a row. Seriously, if you lose once, you have to start from the beginning of the cup, which is a pain in the ass. Sure, if all your Pokemon manage to survive one match, you get an extra continue, but still, it took quite some time for me to record this, and like I said, this is all I've been doing, battling. I'm gonna try to not ramble too much about how much you only do battles in this game, but I'm not kidding. That's going to be rather difficult.
It's like when game developers grab an element from a previous game and make a new game focusing on that specific element only. But in the end, it just becomes repetitive, boring, and not interesting at all. I'm looking at you, Battlefield. You should just stop.
One thing that actually amazes me is that the graphics in this game are really good for being a Nintendo 64 game. The Pokemon look really good and they look alive. And that's what we all wanted to see, considering that the Pokemon in the Game Boy games didn't really look lively at all. So it was a big deal for us Pokefans to see our favorite Pokemon spring to life in beautiful 3D. Okay, except for Slowbro. Let's head to the gym castle where you can battle against all the 8 Kanto gym leaders. But before you can battle them, you need to defeat 3 random trainers before that. But yet again, all you do is battle. You get to rent Pokemon for this as well. And I think it's worth mentioning that the moves and stats have already been set for each Pokemon. So depending on what move you want, you'll probably find that move within a Pokemon that you probably don't want to use. Cause, you know, Weeping Battle is so stupid. If you manage to beat all 8 gyms, then you can battle the Elite 4. Beat them and you can fight your rival. It never ends, does it? It really is a test of endurance. And if you do manage to beat the gym castle as well as the stadium cups, then you can fight one and only Mewtwo. Too bad I didn't give a flying Swedish crap about battling for 3 hours straight, so I ripped this off from YouTube. Sure, get mad at me. I don't care. What are you gonna do?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you guys. I love you all, please don't hate me.
We also have stuff like Free Battle, where you and some friends can battle each other in a, well, free battle. Any Pokemon is available for you to use, but yet again, it's only battling. Day 25. I've yet to find a meaning to what I'm doing with my Pokemon. Is fighting really the only thing that I can do? What am I trying to accomplish? Well, whatever it is, I'm sure it's for something good. Also, I really do need someone to teach me how to write. There is actually one thing in this game that is not about battling, and that's the minigame area. The Kids Club. Here you can play up to 4 players and compete in 9 different minigames. And the minigames are Magikarp Splash! Next, Clefairy Says. This is basically Simon Says, where you have to remember the order of the arrows and repeat them. Isn't the Clefairy teacher just adorable? I don't know. Also, if you fuck up, you get hammered. Run, Rattata, run. All players control a Rattata running on a treadmill. You have to press A as fast as you can and press up to jump over the obstacles. And that's pretty much it. Sushi Go Round. You're controlling Lickitung and the goal is to eat sushi. Each piece gives you a different amount of points, and the one with the most points wins. This is probably my favorite minigame of them all. Thundering Dynamo. Here you have to repeatedly press the A and B button depending on what color shows up on the Doomsday device. The first one to be fully charged wins, and the others die. Snore War. 4 drowsies. 1 task. 1 goal. This is a fight to stay awake. Here you have to hit the A button when the pendulum gets to the center. If you miss it, the bigger the chances for you to fall asleep. Last man awake wins. Ekans' Hoop Hurl. This is a ring toss game. You have to toss the Ekans around as many Digletts as you can. And you score extra points if you manage to toss it around the golden Diglett. I want that. Dig, dig, dig! You control a Sandshrew and you have to press L and R back and forth as fast as you can. And the first one to hit water wins. But your Sandshrew is also slowly dying because ground Pokemon are weak against water. Good one. Good job. Stupid. Rock Harden! It's a pun! You control either Metapod or Kakuna, and your goal is to use Harden to protect yourself from the falling rocks. But the more you use Harden, the more stamina you lose. So the last one with stamina wins. And there you have it! 9 amazing minigames! I'm just kidding, these aren't amazing at all. What I've heard from a lot of people is that they have spent a lot of time playing these minigames with their friends, but here comes my question.
Why didn't they just play a game of Mario Party? Heck, why didn't my friends and I play Mario Party instead of these crappy minigames? It's really weird to think that we spent a lot of time into these minigames when we were younger, when we already had a great party game with great minigames on a different cartridge. Yet, we still played this. Why? Because it's fucking Pokémon!
At this point, Nintendo already knew that they could make absolutely anything, even if the idea was stupid, but they didn't have to worry about that. As long as it had Pokémon in it, then they could fill their money train with cash money dough bucks greens bitches. Heck, how could an on-rail photography game where you take pictures of Pokémon sell so goddamn well? Because Pokémon! Not that I'm bashing the game itself, but seriously, would you be interested at all if they would release a game where you just take pictures of things? Fatal Frame doesn't count, those games are awesome.
But what really made this game better was this. Shit. What really made this game better was this little rascal. The transfer pack. With this you could take your Pokémon red, blue or yellow and connect it to the game itself by attaching it to the controller. Neato, huh?
Not only would you see Pokémon come to life in 3D, but you would see your Pokémon in 3D, with the exact same moves and stats that they have in your Game Boy save file. You could even play the game on the TV screen, so that was cool. But Red, Blue and Yellow are the only Game Boy games that you can play on the transfer pack. Nothing else, which is weird considering we had the Super Game Boy before this, which could play all the Game Boy games. And if you had 2 transfer packs, you could battle a friend and his or her Pokémon. But no one stood a chance against my level 100 Starmie. Come at me, you dingle butts! Here's a cool thing that you can do. After beating the Elite Four and the rival, you will receive a very special gift that is a Pokémon. But which ones? Well, let me tell ya, the Pokémon you get is out of an uncommon kind. It's either Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Omanite, Kabuto or Eevee. And the one you get will always be randomized. In Red, Blue and Yellow you can only get one of the starters, one of the Dojo Pokémon, one of the fossil Pokémon and only one Eevee throughout the entire game. But with the help of Pokémon Stadium, you can actually get all of these Pokémon by defeating the Elite Four and the rival multiple times. You can transfer these Pokémon over to your Game Boy save file when using the transfer pack and use them in whatever way you want. So if you're determined enough, your team can have all the starters, both of the Dojo Pokémon, the 3 original evolutions and both the Helix and Dome fossil Pokémon. That's awesome, right? Yeah, it's awesome if you like to battle and battle and battle and... you get the hint already. But hey, you can use your Pokémon from Red, Blue and Yellow if you want, so that's a plus. But even if such a neat feature exists, I've come to realize what this game really is. It's an expansion. An expansion to benefit the use of the original Red, Blue and Yellow games.
Just to see your Pokémon appear in 3D and have them battle and nothing else, it really got boring pretty fast, but we were still so fascinated by the fact that our Pokémon were in 3D.
So, it really was just an expensive add-on to Red, Blue and Yellow, which was a little bit of a disappointment for us. We wanted it to be an adventure, like with the Game Boy games, not just battle, battle, battle. I really don't have to explain myself anymore.
So in the end, is this game really worth getting? Nah. I mean, it is a classic, but playing it now would just be, well, unnecessary. Nowadays we have so many different Pokémon spin-offs as well as new features in the newer Pokémon games. We have Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire on the way, and we have that teaser image for the new Pokémon game, which looks like it's gonna be on the Wii U. Who knows what it will be. But if you really want to have this in your collection, then go ahead and get it. It's just that I personally don't think it's worth the money. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, this game also got a sequel. Pokémon Stadium 2, with the Generation 2 Pokémon. What about this game? It's the same goddamn thing.
Hey boys and girls, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, then go ahead and like it. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe as well. Also, follow me on Facebook and Twitter as I'll be posting news, updates and other random shit. I also do live streams at times, so follow me on Twitch if you like that kind of stuff.
Okay, bye.
Gosh, I've always wanted a Pokémon MMO! Wow, that is amazing! But what console is it for? Is it for the Wii U?
No.
3DS?
No.
It's for the PC, but that would be weird considering it's for the Nintendo.